We love hip hop.
Another Toronto thing that's been going on. Tizzy
Okay,
Stackz.
I seen this. Life.
He got sentenced to life.
You know what that means?
25 years?
15 in Canada.
You do 2/3 of your time over here in Canada.
So wait, how much is life considered?
25? Life is 25 years.
So 2/3 of 25?
That's about 18, right? And that's to go and see if you can get parole, right? And just to give you guys just some more clarity on the legal system part of it, like in 18 years, you can go up in front of the parole board. They'll decide whether they can let you go home on day parole to serve the rest of the 7 years in a halfway house. And then now afterwards, you're on parole for the rest of your life. Right? So if you have a dirty piss test, if that's one of your conditions, 20 years from now, you're back inside. I've seen it.
Yo, I have a question because I know in America, like when people are imprisoned, like they put them to work and they get really cheap labor.
Yeah.
Is that the same here? Like, is he going to be doing stuff every day or just going to be sitting in his room the whole time?
It depends. Over here, you decide, right? What you decide what your adventure is when you're in jail. You can sit around and just lift weights or whatever, or, because they're going to have him in a maximum security at first, but then he has to work his way down to medium security, and then eventually, as he gets older, he'll probably get into minimum, maybe. But during that time, you can try to work, get a job in there. You know what I'm saying? Like for my little baby bid, I was an electrician assistant.
Really?
Yeah, but I had to say I want to go and become an electrician assistant. They didn't come around and ask me if I wanted to be one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I'm not saying there are opportunities in there because obviously there's
there are opportunities. You can spend your time wisely, and it's going to be a long time, but like you can go and try to get licenses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I got my forklifting license in my short space of time, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Like you can be constructive with your time.
So there is something like somewhat rehabilitative about the Canadian prison system. Because you know how people are always like, yo, it shouldn't be about punishment. It should be about rehabilitation. But like there are opportunities.
Yeah. And if you murk somebody, what are you going to do? Just give them some kind of treatment program? Like, no, you still have to convict people. Like these people, jails are there for a reason.
Yes. Yeah. No,
right? Whether they rehabilitate or not, that's a whole other thing. But they are there to lock up people for crimes. If you murder somebody, you gotta sit down.
It's true. And you can't really have a country without law. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, unless you want to be in an anarchy state. And you'll see what happens. Like right now in Syria, for example, like the rebels then took over certain areas. And imagine giving like certain blocks, like the most grade A military weaponry. And like more than the police, the country's army can't even handle it.
Exactly.
Mans are going to be shooting up everything, fam.
Yeah. Yeah. But like.
You need law and order in a society.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not saying I agree with every single law or like how the police operate, but like we have to also be intelligent and realize like, okay, like the exchange with a country is you pay taxes for some type of legal protection.
Yeah.
Because other than that, a man could just run up in your crib, do whatever, zero consequence. Might is right. If you're stronger, it's done. You have the strat. They don't. It's done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And with this kid here, or young man, he had a lot going on, man. He had a record deal on the table, bro.
Tizzy Stackz. Yo, talk to me a little bit about the case because I'm not too familiar with the situation, to be honest.
So from what I remember, there was some back and forth that he was having with somebody online. And he went, allegedly, and I guess not allegedly because he's got convicted for it. And he went and met up with that person or found that person and wet him up.
Online, like on like an IG Live?
Not IG Live. I think they were going back and forth probably in the DMs and in comments and stuff like that. But it was also not just like some random commenter. Like they had
It was
issues.
like an op. Yeah,
they had ops and stuff like that, right? And I don't know if it's even stemming from I'm going to get mixy for a second, from what happened with the other young man who I interviewed, who was with him when I interviewed him, Steno, R.I.P. Steno, right? He passed away. I interviewed Tizzy Stackz back in 2019, and then Steno passed away like later in 2019.
Oh, so could it be
he got murdered.
Like a slide 4 type situation?
It's been an ongoing thing that has been going on back and forth since that time, and probably before that time, because of the fact that that young man got murdered. You know what I'm saying? So there's been some kind of politics that's always been going on behind the scenes with Tizzy Stackz, and it kind of came to a head when, you know, it's kind of weird where some of my rationale, but don't look for me for rationale. But I'm always boggled when the rappers are out there doing drills. Because it's like, aren't you guys supposed to be the heads of the crew? Right? So the crew should be doing the drills and the rappers have nothing involved with it. Unless the only reason they should be trying to convict the rapper is on some Dirk shit. Like, yo, you organized this. Mm-hmm. But when I'm like, yo, you were the one that pulled the trigger and like you got convicted for it, I'm always like, huh? Like, shouldn't you be in the studio while your guys are sliding? Because that's what they say in their rhymes. Like, my guys slide for me. But then they're sliding. I'm like, what's your guys there for?
Okay, let me give you an analogy, and I think it'll explain it. Say you have an army, and you have a soldier who sends the front soldiers, like the first line.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys go. I'm going to stay in the office and plan, right? What if that guy is in the field with you? You're going to respect that guy way more because he doesn't have to be
a fighting general.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, instead of just the army leader being like, okay, make a call. Okay, you guys do it, which is what most politicians and leaders do. Yeah. That's like Donald Trump really being like in Afghanistan with the strap, with the mans that are getting like $30K a year.
That's crazy though.
It's crazy. It's not wise. It's not intelligent, but it is respectable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also like, yo, there are consequences to your actions, as I always say. And it's unfortunate that like there was a prospective young talent. You're saying he had a record.
He had a record deal on the table. People were hitting me up behind the scenes, trying to get in contact with him to talk to him about record contracts. Record company people.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he felt like he had to do what he had to do on some principle stuff. And
I guess
I really do think as I have gotten older and at first, you know, I seen, I guess, the scene and the polys. I'm like, this is dumb. Why are you guys doing this? But bro, people find purpose in fighting for something, fighting with people, having enemies. It gives you identity.
Yeah.
We are us. They are them.
You have a mission.
They did this to us. We did this to them. This is the score, you know, saying this up, this down, whatever. So it gives you purpose and it gives you identity. It's just like, and everyone needs a purpose in life. You know, these guys,
it's a wild purpose.
It is a wild purpose. And at least some of them are able to branch off and they refocus their purpose in music.
Yeah.
But I felt like with him, it was like the music wasn't like, maybe it wasn't as primary as like, yo, this is my ends though.
Yeah, but bro, like I was saying, he had the opportunities there. And before the opportunities can come to fruition, he's sitting in a jail cell. So it's not like he was some guy that nobody was checking for. People were checking for him, bro.
People expect certain behavior from certain people.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people will fall into that and they want you to be the version of yourself that they see.
Yeah.
And I think you see that with a lot of these rappers where it's like, they don't want to seem like, oh, I'm a rapper now, I'm soft.
Yeah.
It's like, if anything, I'm going to go even harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't think because I'm a rapper, I won't slide.
Yeah, it's not sweet anymore just because, oh, I got a couple 100,000 plays. And mans will be like, oh, this guy switched up ever since he went viral, bro. He's not about it anymore.
Yeah, I switched up. I'm rich now. I can't be sliding with y'all niggas, man. You slide for me. That's what, sorry, bro. If I was still in the life like that, and I'm a rapper, and I'm the one who's up, like, okay, you see me how I get down when I was down in the streets. You want to grab another water?
No, I'm good.
You see me how I used to get down when I was down in the streets. Now that I'm up and I'm the rapper and I'm providing money for all of us, you slide. I'm busy in the studio providing to get more money for all of us.
Yeah,
that's just my mentality, though.
Yes, but like I feel like the few super successful gangster rappers that like were like ended up getting to the top, they cut off all those people. Yeah. They had to, because at first it starts with, yo, you're switching up. Then you're like, you know what? Let me provide for these people. Then it becomes, yo, can you give me this? Because this.
Yeah.
You notice that their mentality will stay the same as you elevate.
As you evolve.
And it's either they're going to be a crutch for you and they're going to bring you down, or you just have to cut the ties and then they're going to be like, oh, Snoop Dogg, man, he used to be from here, but man, he's fake now.
Because this might be a pressure thing too. Like, so what? You're not going to slide? You're going to let this go? Like, yes. Are you going to do it for me? Because I'm the guy who's about to get a record deal. Mm-hmm. So part of that whole, no, bro, so what? You're going to just let him get, you're going to allow that? Yes. Are you going to allow it? Because you're supposed to be my shooter. Like, don't send me out on the dummy mission. I'm the guy.
Yeah, but would you say that in certain hoods, certain blocks, like if you know that, okay, this guy, he's a real killer, he gets a little more respect?
Yeah, but I think that's dumb when you start having people who are going to be your breadwinner. It's happened with American guys too, where I'm like, yo, why is Vaughn sliding? You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with the Dirk thing that's going on, Dirk was doing some whole other shit while they were sliding. If he's guilty, because he's, you know, innocent until proven guilty. But what they're trying to convict him or trying to get him on is him organizing a hit. Not little Dirk running around sliding and whatever. And then there was an incident of that too. And I thought that was dumb when him and Vaughn got a gun charge. Like, what are you guys doing your own? Why are you shooting anybody? You're a rapper with 100,000 on your neck. Dude, this guy right here, he has a stack in his hand. It's coming out of some kind of truck for a music video. That should never be the guy who's pulling out shit to do shit because you already have a high profile. What are all the guys in the ski mask there for?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but I think because it's so culturally ingrained in them, like that's what they grew up seeing. It's like you can take the guy at the hood, but you can't take the hood out the guy or whatever. No Diddy.
Yeah.
Like I think that could be what it is. Cause it's kind of like, yo, imagine like I was driving, but I'm rich. Like I could have a driver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I should have a driver, but like, oh no, this is how I do it, you know? And then I get into some super dumb accident because like, oh, maybe I was driving drunk or something. Not that I do that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's one of those where it's like, even though you could, it's just so a part of who you are and your identity that it's like, you know?
I think that could be true. And I also think your friends don't love you as much as they say they do. Because if they're your crew, they should be sliding for you.
Facts, but this is something I realized at this age, fam. Like, barely anyone loves anyone for real. Like, you have like a handful of people that'll love you in your life.
Yeah, because he's convicted, you know, RIP to the person who passed as well. But there should be no reason why fame or popular or getting popular ass rapper should be doing any missions. To me, that's always wild.
Yeah, it's unwise, especially if you want to give yourself the best shot at making it.
And your friends who are supposed to be the shooters or the gangbangers or whatever, they'll hold you down, guys, they don't love you as much as, like I said, because they should have been like, nah, B, I'll go. You're about to get famous and get us all out the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? Maybe, what if he didn't even consult with them? What if it was really like...
Well, then that's on him.
Maybe he just had like a crash out moment where he was just like, it could be mental health. It could be drugs. Like, I think a lot of the times it is mental health or some type of spiritual possession. I don't know, bro, because some of these kids be demons and then like they snap out of that. They snap out of it
when they're in jail and the drugs wear off.
And then they're like, oh my God, what did I do? I threw it all away because XYZ. And like, I don't know, man.
Now he's going to have to sit and think about it for 25 years. Unfortunately for him and, you know, fortunately for the family of the person who passed away, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, salute to Tizzy Stackz and salute to the family of the person who passed away. Because I know people like to get at me in the comments. Oh, so you're saluting the guy, man?
Nah, prayers.
Bro, I met the man. He was super cool with me, bro. But he went and did what he did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got to be.
We love hip hop.